This is Priyanka Sarkar, and welcome to the Sports Soul, a space where we explore the real stories and emotions behind strength in sports and in life.
When we hear the word art, we think about it as a hobby, and when we think about therapy, we think about it as crisis. What if art is not about talent and therapy is not just for the broken, for those who are breaking down? And what if creativity is a way that brain regulates emotion? We live in a world that rewards productivity, and productivity can come in various forms. But emotions do not disappear just because we ignore them. So today I want to ask a deeper question. Is creativity a luxury, or is it just an emotional survival? And today, to explain this, I'm joined by Sivanuja, and thank you so much for being here. And she's an art therapist. So before I go ahead with the podcast, can you tell us a little about you and what you do, please?
Sure. Thank you for having me. So I am a psychologist. I've done masters and I do freelance art therapy. I work with athletes, students, and even some corporate places. So basically we conduct workshops that involves guided art therapy. So there are specific techniques that we focus on, and based on the audience that we are dealing with, we use those techniques and take the sessions. Apart from that, I'm also a part-time lecturer. So I teach for undergrad and postgrad students, and it is very fun interacting with students.
Yes.
And I'm still in my, what you call a budding psychologist, you can say. So there's still a lot to learn, a lot to explore, and a long way ahead. So I'm really excited and looking forward to learn all of that.
And I hope to see more of your work, because I remember I told you this in many of our conversations that you conducted a summer camp in my own hometown, and that is how I've seen your body of work. And when people hear art therapy, what is that they usually misunderstand it as?
So first of all, I think when we say art or any creative form, people usually just stick to drawing, painting, or sketching, these forms. But art has a lot of forms, even music or dance or even photography. Any form of art can be practiced. And when we are specifically talking about visual arts, people come up with a analytical self or a fixed mindset that I should be good at drawing or I should know how to draw. So that I think that is the first barrier we have to break when we are into this, that it's not about the quality of the drawing, but it's about expression. So that is one thing we try to focus on, self-expression, or how they are expressing themselves rather than how they are drawing.
Is art therapy about making something beautiful, or is it just about being honest? When you said expression, is it a beautiful expression or is it an honest expression that we are looking at?
Yes, so like I mentioned, when we are trying to break that barrier, naturally it can get messy. The process can even be ugly sometimes. So it is more about being honest. So when we are talking about expression, it is about exploring that self and then trying to be truthful to that self. So it is definitely about truth rather than beauty.
So what happens in the way when someone paints or draws something that does not happen in a normal conversation?
When we are talking, right, even as adults, we fail to communicate properly.
Yes.
And we have to filter so much to get the bare minimum of the words out. So what happens when we are drawing or painting or using any form of art, we don't have this filter happening. So the natural state is just flowing, and that judging self stops there. Once you get into the flow of art, I think that filter is not there. So when compared to a talk therapy or traditional therapy setting, using art can be a starter. So it encourages the person to get into that flow rather than filtering themselves.
So why do some emotions come out easily through color and movement than through words? You said we filter ourselves. Why is it?
Like I mentioned, we have a lot of social barriers when it comes to talking. But picking up a color, it's your choice. Picking up a texture, it's your choice. You're making the decision there. You're sticking to whatever palette you like, whatever texture you like, and you're going with that. But when it comes to talking, you have, in a specific situation I have to talk like this, or with a specific person I have to talk like that. So all of those barriers are not there when you have just pencil and paper with you. Or even as simple as taking a photography, no one is stopping you from taking a picture, right? So you have your own lens and then you're taking the picture. So again, all these patterns or textures, you have the choice. You can pick whatever you want.
So, may I ask, how does art help someone regulate fear, anxiety, or performance anxiety? Because you said that you also work with athletes where performance anxiety is also a very concerning factor. So, how does art help that?
Yes, definitely. Athletes, I think 90% of them have the issue of performance anxiety. In practice, they are just lions giving it all out. But when it comes to playing in the matches, I think they tend to stumble a little bit, and that's all right. Using art for them, it's about inculcating emotional regulation. So, and a part of it is to externalize these emotions. Fear or anxiety or all of these are natural, right? But we are not taught to understand these secondary emotions, right? We just stick to the primary ones.
Yes.
Like we are happy, we are sad, or fear also comes naturally. But when it comes to the secondary emotions, like you might be embarrassed to play in front of people, or you might be anxious that it's your first match or a big crowd. So these kind of emotions, I think understanding them and externalizing them, it makes the athlete distance themselves. So they are understanding that I am not my emotions, right? So just like how they would do a mental skills training, like visualization or labeling, I think art can also help them. So they are putting their feelings onto the paper, right? So this can help them externalize and distance themselves.
So, how does a dysregulated artwork look when compared to a articulated and a regulated artwork? Because so a dysregulated is one somewhere people are trying to understand and work on their emotions.
Right.
And how does that one look like from one already who has worked on it?
So again, it is a very subjective point if you ask me. But then again, someone who is really having a lot of issues or challenges internally, then I think we can make out by the way they are drawing. Okay, it could be the choice of color. They might especially choose darker shades, like they might stick to black or something very shading, too much of shading in the drawings, or the pressure they are applying while drawing, right? So there might be too much pressure when they are performing this art, or they might get stuck in one particular place. If you ask them to color a particular drawing, they might just get stuck in one particular place. And that pressure, they might even tear the page, something like that. So these sort of extremities can be seen if they are dysregulated. Whereas someone who's got it figured out a little bit, who has a practice about it or more regulated, like you asked, I think they'll be more in the flow. Like they're trying to figure out, they're going with the flow, they know they have an idea. So this sort of a difference can be seen sometimes.
And we live in a productivity driven culture. And how does creativity suppression look like in this culture?
It's very true. We are definitely living in a fast-paced, productivity-driven. I mean, any moment you're not doing anything, it feels like it's a waste of time, right? So I think going away from that goal-directed or a task-oriented form to a more process-oriented can help athletes or students also to understand their emotions or make a more planned way of life. Like when we talk about emotions, I think these days there are a lot of distractions.
Yes.
So we are unable to label them or understand them, or even if they are aware, they're not able to accept and take action with that.
Yes.
So I think reducing that pace of life a little bit can help with that.
What does creative suppression do and how does it look like?
Okay, so as some of the psychologists who work in the art therapy, so it's a very innate process. Okay, art is like a very innate drive for human beings. So, and creativity is not in equal levels for everyone. Everyone has their own level, right? And it is definitely subjective. But definitely when, like earlier you have asked, in a productivity driven world, So they are focused on running and chasing behind things, getting things done, or doing something for monetary benefits, or seeing that I'm getting rewards for this. So in that case, probably the creative self or that innate self is not coming out, and this can directly or indirectly affect their emotions, right? Those emotions are also getting suppressed, so there is no healthy way to channel this out. So that can definitely be a problem on their development or identity or even self-esteem at some point of time. So yes, whether directly or indirectly, it can have effects.
When we talk about expression, create art therapy as expression of emotions, sometimes people with fear, anxiety, and everything, they come. And how do they express, or what do mental health issues do to people in their creative expressions?
I think people with any challenges with their mental health, whether they are having extreme emotions or anxiety or even low moods, just like any other talk therapy, they might show resistance. Again, the critical self will start coming in. So instead of trying to take that step, they might judge if they will do well or not, or they might just show a lot of reluctance that, whether they should give it a try or not. So that is where all these allied forms help, right? So when we are guiding them through art, we are asking them to be themselves, right? So, and then that will come out slowly. So again, it's the focus on process. There is definitely a difference because they are already facing difficulties internally. They feel like it's a challenge, right? So it's not easy, and I think that's where we come in place, encouraging them to express openly.
Is there a difference between scrolling content and creating content?
Definitely. I think in this age and technology, we are consuming a lot of content, but there is no output for that. There's something called hot and cold media, if you're aware. So I think this generation is more focused on hot media. That is, only one sense is extremely focused and high definition content. So I think it gives quick dopamine or quick happy hormones. We are happy in that moment and it's very nice. But all of our senses are not working together. So that might definitely be a problem in the long run. But when we are creating, instead of just watching, we are actively processing these things, right? So that is more beneficial, more sustainable, and much healthier.
Scrolling content is harmful for our brains, and when you're trying to do something, you're starting something from scratch which makes you happier. So instead of inculcating it as out of schools, out of educational institutions, can art therapy move from crisis management or crisis treatment to a kind of preventive in mental health in schools and workplaces?
Definitely, it can be. I think in the past few years, we have seen increase in therapies like ABA in schools, right? Again, that is more in corrective form, or it's for people, they're classifying it, it is for certain people or only for special kids or special classes this way. But I think introducing other activities apart from studies in a proper manner, that can help in a holistic development of the student or the child. So yes, it should be, prevention is always better, right, than the cure. So it can definitely be introduced.
So in the times of AI, in the times of where everything is shaped by AI and automation, does creativity become a psychological survival skill, or how can creativity keep us intact when everything is automated?
I know people are worried that AI will replace their jobs, their works. But I've read this somewhere, someone posted, I think an artist, they're like, I wish AI could do my house chores so that I can sit and paint. So I think that should happen. AI, maybe it can give you quick results, quick searches from the internet, or it can help you enhance your work or get started if you're stuck. But it's not a replacement, especially when it comes to creative fields, because it is all about the process, right? The process of starting something, sitting with that, finishing through it. This process, I think it's a very human in nature, and no AI can replace that. So I think, again, as I've mentioned earlier, because of this quick fixes or a much faster paced life, I think we are being a little reliant on technology and AI. There's nothing wrong with that, but we should also be confident in our human abilities too, our soft skills, our emotions. So that is something we can work on.
May I ask, how does a typical art therapy class look like? If somebody wants to take up an art therapy, how does it look like, a typical day or typical session?
Okay, so to begin with, if we are taking an introductory session, we usually start with warm-up exercise. So that would probably take about 10-15 minutes, not more than that. It is just to get into the flow, just like how we warm up before exercising or before playing. Similarly, it's like a mental warm-up. So we do a couple of techniques so that the brain is active and running. We get into the flow state. And then depending on the audience or on the objective of the session, we take up specific techniques. For example, if we are working with athletes and we are looking at something like goal setting, so there'll be specific technique for that, right? And here the most important thing, or the one of the best things about art is there are no hard and fast rules, right? It's like we are giving them a prompt and we are giving them minimum materials, right? And they will start doing it. A little similar to the projective techniques that we see, but here instead of interpreting the art or a picture directly, we are asking them to make something from their mind. So it can in a way bring out their unconscious thoughts or feelings, and they are putting out onto the paper.
So how does an art therapy session last? Not the time.
Yeah.
How long?
You mean like the duration
Yes,
of it?
duration, yes.
Okay. It depends, just like a psychotherapy session or a talk therapy counseling session. But we do not solely rely on art therapy. So this is more like an added thing to other counseling, or like I've mentioned, it's like getting started with it, because sometimes people might find it hard to express verbally, or they might find it challenging to just talk and tell this is what I'm facing, right? So in such cases, I think we can start with the art therapy. And also any form of therapy, our goal is to make the client or the person self-reliant, right, at the end of the day. So I think this following any kind of art form, that gives them at least a hobby to follow, right, some activity to follow. So I think, so we do not solely rely on art therapy, but this is something to get started or something the person can learn for themselves.
So you said the end goal is to be self-reliant. So how does a self-reliant person look like, or how does he express his creativity after successful inclusion of holistic and add-on sessions where if he comes with mental health issues? How does that self-reliant person look like after successful art therapies?
So definitely there's an increase in self-confidence. So when they face with some adverse situation, or when they feel like they are going back into the same patterns, or if they are facing those emotions again, they would not be going into that loop again, right? They will be confident in themselves that yes, I can handle this, or I can try different methods. Now they have a set of tools with them, so they are going to pick and choose, maybe I can try this now, right? So that confidence will be there that I can manage this. Even if not, they wouldn't fear this time to ask for help, or they wouldn't fear to reach out that I have tried this, maybe this is something else, could you help me, right? They might not come back to us again, or they might not go back to the same place, but now they know, like, I have these tools and I can reach out for whatever I want.
And how does art expression of those completely healed and self-reliant people look like?
Colors are one thing we can see the difference in. They might use a lot of lighter colors, or they might use pictures or drawings that symbolize a very happy emotions, right? So again, patterns and textures could be lighter or very joyful in mood. They would And the more they are moving on to this wellness continuum, right, they would also want to try more. They would want to explore more, right? So they would be trying different forms of art, or they would just sit and paint because they are enjoying it.
So art is not about talent. It is just about how self-reliant you become and how you heal yourself from what you have started to what you become. And it is just the colors they use are expression of their transition of emotions and healing of emotions. Is that right?
Yes, absolutely.
So the emotions do not disappear, they just express themselves in a much more healed manner. Is it?
Yes,
Yeah?
definitely. So you can say these emotions are transformed. So again, going back to your first question, is it about beauty or truth? Once they are being honest with their expression, I think they will automatically start feeling that it's beautiful. No matter how the process was, no matter how it came out, they're going to start feeling that I've put so much effort into this and I've enjoyed the process so much. So it is naturally going to look beautiful for them. So they are transforming their emotions.
So that is what I want you to take away from art therapy is not a hobby. It is a transformation that you have in your journey in expressing your emotions and regulating them. And when you do not express your emotions, your body will express it for you. So instead of asking yourself, am I creative? Ask yourself, am I able to express much better? And when you have problems in expressing, maybe art therapy can help you. And thank you so much for doing this. And I really greatly appreciate your presence here and hope to see you soon some other time.
Thank you so much for having me. It was wonderful.
My pleasure. Thank you.